All right. Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is Tuesday. Um, see, it's Tuesday. What day is it? Sorry, having some slight difficulty here this morning, getting some things working. Let me get this screen shared. I think I'm sharing the right one now. Right, I am. Yes. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry for the slight delay getting things started. And the first time I got the stream going, disaster followed. Anyway, if all is going well, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is September 21st. It is Tuesday. It is 6:29 a.m. here in the Arizona desert, and we are recovering from the Everguard nonsense. Who knows if that's really what crashed the markets, but in general, the global markets are kind of crazy. And all in all, crypto is doing okay. It's way more volatile, tends to have way greater swings than a lot of the traditional markets, etc., and indexes. So it's a little bit more choppy than you might usually notice if you haven't been looking at it. But recovery looking good. Some alts are beginning to show their strength, and Bitcoin, pretty flaccid. But you know what? It didn't totally give up. And well, actually, it kind of did, and so did Ethereum. But they are bouncing, and they're bouncing at predictable areas. So let's just rock along and see what's going on. Now, looking at Coin 360 here, as we can see, it is a rather dang red day in the market. AVX is up. I've been watching EGLD. It's kind of been up and down. 88's had some nice moves. XRP is almost above $1 again. So some alts just don't have time for this. I mean, they're doing things. Stuff is happening, especially Ethereum. Just because the crypto market dumps a bit, well, it just can't stay that way. Progress is being made. Ethereum, basically the workhorse of the internet. Solera, I mean, definitely a lot of NFT action happening there. ADA, big moves in Africa. XRP doesn't care what the SEC has to say. Anyway, in Doge, well, it's still Doge, and Litecoin, that forgotten coin, is not totally dead either. So let's take a look at these things and get you out of here. All right. Spot trading volume on Binance last 24 hours, 29 billion, up 5% last 24 hours. Not bad. Still, you want to at least see 30 billion, better 50 for a good day in the market, but that's fine. This represents really retail volume, not so much whale volume, and definitely whales have been buying this dip. I did see a tweet from Crypto Lark yesterday, and I do believe it pans out. It is correct. While we had this recent dip, who bought more Bitcoin? The country of El Salvador. Badass, right? So isn't it cool that while everybody's, buying the dip, oh yeah, buying that dip. Well, it's not just people. It's not just your roommate. Or your pothead, cousin Ronnie or something like that. It's El Salvador, and a lot of big ass companies like MicroStrategy, etc., and probably ones that we don't even know are in the market, but are, and wealthy people, billionaires with those cool ass houses, destroying the environment up there on the hill. All right, derivatives. Or spot trading, derivatives, futures basically on Binance, 90 billion, not bad at all. Like to see above 70 billion, so definitely the futures are happening. People are probably longing and shorting depending on what they believe in. All right, looking at Bitcoin trading volume explicitly across the big exchanges, we have 6.4 billion. This is very inspiring to me because, like I say, 3 billion means the market is on. 4 and 5, 6, cool. So 6 is definitely and above, means we have retail action going on. So this dip, we saw it yesterday also, even though it does suck ass in a big way if you are in positions, if you're in alts, or if you are, we're in Bitcoin, your trade might be in the red for a little bit if it didn't stop out and profit, hopefully. But anyway, this is cool. Since yesterday and today, we're seeing it also. We're not seeing the most phenomenal retail buy the dip happening, but 6 billion, not bad at all. I definitely think since yesterday, we have retail buyers buying the dip. Just be careful you don't buy it and then it goes lower. Then you buy it and it goes lower. Be careful about buying the dip. Have more of a strategy than just buy the dip. Buy the confirmed uptrend, please, people. All right, with that said, let's look at glorious liquidations. So today, of course, is the 21st. We don't quite have data yet here, but we look at the big exchange across the big exchanges. Let's go back to, of course, the 19th. We had 1.1 or basically 1.15 billion longs wrecked and 120 million worth of shorts wrecked. Now, yesterday we had 588 million longs wrecked and 130 million shorts wrecked. So anyway, it's kind of cool how yesterday people were somewhat hopeful, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna long this thing. They got wrecked. Sorry about that. Anyway, like I say, that's kind of like buying the dip. Just be sure you have a plan. I stopped buying the dip a long time ago. I might dollar cost average still some Bitcoin and some alts, but when it comes to buying dips, I don't anymore. I buy the confirmed uptrend because basically, don't wreck yourself. Anyway, I guess if you're really looking long, then maybe, if you're really dollar cost averaging long term, you're dollar cost averaging long term, you don't really care. It's a long term investment. You're putting your whatever in weekly, good to go. But just like I say, I need to do a whole YouTube one day just about buying the dip. And anyway, sorry, I do not want to hold us up. You didn't really buy the dip if it dips more tomorrow. If you had waited for the confirmed uptrend, you'd be in a better spot. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, but that buy the dip bullshit gets to my nerves because a lot of people preach it, and it's not necessarily of itself a good strategy. I would say buying the dip is only really good if you are a knowledgeable trader and you have some plan to what you're doing, because many people did buy the dip when Bitcoin was, at 20K all the way down to 3K. And sure, maybe they're in profit now, but they also may have gotten pretty wrecked in the red and had financial problems where their trading scenario wasn't really working very well. So like I say, what would happen if you bought the dip and tomorrow it was going to dip more? Would you still buy it? Buy the confirmed uptrend. Binance, Bitcoin, longs versus shorts, 62% long, 37% shorts. I'm going to call that a long bias. Ethereum on Binance, longs versus shorts, 64% long, 35% short. Long bias for Bitcoin and Ethereum on Binance, where that big ass volume is. Now, looking at, let me make this a little bit easier to see, 45-minute chart for Bitcoin. This is quite a lot of days that I have here. As you can see, we had our beautiful run up here above the 200 moving average. We had our dump. We cranked up. We held it a little while, started looking weak, and then we just dumped again. So anyway, Bitcoin, this is volatile as crap, isn't it? So Bitcoin showing some glorious volatility. Now, if you are inclined and you're sort of swinging trades and you're getting in, I would just recommend, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Okay, everybody. I just want to say, do note, this is the white line here is a 200 moving average. This is a 45-minute chart. If you swing out here, if you look from 30,000 feet and look at this, when you get these 200 moving average crosses, you're in the money. And also note that you have Madrid ribbons, and you can find that over at bitcoindailyview.com. You can link to that indicator. When you got green Madrid ribbons and you're crossing that 200 moving average, boom, look at that. You get a beautiful swing. It looks good. And then if you were to, I know a lot of people are just kind of hodling indefinitely forever, but and that's fine. I mean, have your stash, but do note here, if you were to buy, I hadn't planned on doing this. I don't want to waste your time here. Just want to make a little point. If you were to have bought the 200 moving average cross here, and then basically even sold when the Madrid ribbons turned, about here, you'd have been getting shaky. That could have been like 7%. And then if you just wait until another beautiful, good confirmed uptrend here, like about here you get in, and Madrid ribbons turn red, so you sell about here, boom, at 6%. Then you could have ignored all this crap. Could have gotten in here, could have sold here. So like I say, just a strategy, and it really comes from blockchain education. They're linked to over at bitcoindailyview.com. Good group, something to think about if you are a active trader, because they ain't cheap, but it's a good group to belong to if you are trading aggressively. Along with Trade Genius, they're lesser expensive and awesome too. I'd recommend either of those. Just look at your price point, what you're willing to spend, and how much you trade. Here's the deal. Like right now, this is no time to, okay, if you want to buy, let's look a little bit, let's dive in to the dip, right? I mean, we did have a Fibonacci move here, as I saw it, Fib retracement, back here. I think we were good to go. I think this kind of blew it. I'm not sure if I would want to use this high really, but anyway, as you can see, basically what we did was recently we gave it all back. All the gains we had, we dumped hard, gave it back. We basically back where we started. And there you go. So, and then of course, the fib retracement down here, which you can't really see. We almost wicked to a logical fib retracement below. So I think everything makes sense. We're basically trying, and as I see it, we are building some volume here. If I was to do, sorry if I'm kind of meandering this morning. I just wanted to get online and just put something out. I wanted to get some. I wanted to look myself, and so I'm just you truly are. You are live, hanging out with me right now. You're just doing what I'd be doing if you weren't here. So we do have the visible volume range here. You have a lot of volume up top here where it was cruising and holding. We really were kind of ranging between the top of the fib and the 2, 3, 6, the very first fib line. Below the top, we were kind of ranging there. We dumped hard. You can kind of see we teased people. I think it's kind of obvious. This is kind of diabolical, but if you look, we're kind of hung out at every possible fib level here for just a bit, I think. Just enough to get people in so they could get wrecked if they were trying to long it. But we do have a double bottom here, boom, boom, which of course did not hold. We dumped even more, and now we're back. So really, let's look at the indicators here for this time frame. All right, we're beginning to see some upwards movement here from the squeeze indicator. KRI is in the green. Stochastic RSI does show we've been kind of buying hard. Wave trend oscillated by Lazy Bear is showing a sideways trend here. Directional index is in the red, but as you can see, it is trending towards the positive here. ADX is kind of doesn't really matter much. It's just showing the velocity of the dump right now. But it's all about, are we going to find support here at the bottom, at the previous bottom, and start moving up or not? Indicators kind of look like it. Let's look at a 4-hour chart for Bitcoin right here. All right, looking at Bitcoin, it does show the 4-hour chart. You can definitely see the velocity with the squeeze indicator of that down move. The Fibonacci does kind of stick very, very well. I do like seeing it. I mean, we did basically go back to the previous bottom that we pumped from. We went right to a logical fib level, and now we're moving back up. So I'm kind of, the stochastic RSI is definitely showing we have sold all we're going to sell. And it's showing the proper cross here down there in the buy zone. Wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear. It is a harsh teacher. It is a very powerful indicator, especially in a 4-hour for Bitcoin. We are way down here in the oversold area. We've just turned positive. On the 4-hour chart, I find that it is a very, very accurate indicator. The squeeze indicator here is beginning to chill out a little bit. We're going to see some positive motion towards the uptrend. KRI, it predates RSI. It now is definitely still in the red, but it is powerfully ticking up. So 4-hour chart and the 45-minute chart, I put those two together, and, well, interesting. Looks like I'm really waiting for, I need to see a little bit better indicators here in the 45-minute chart and the 4-hour chart before I would say that, we're in buy the dip territory. Oh, sure, buy the dip if you want, but if you want to buy the confirmed uptrend, well, I'm not certain of it yet. So it's a gamble. Let me know your thoughts. So anyway, let's just look quickly at a daily chart here. Get rid of the extra stuff. All right, daily chart. Now, something that's powerful here that I do see is, okay, we broke hardcore below the 200 moving average on the daily chart. I mean, we crushed that 200 moving average and went below its white moving average there. But look at that. We did wick just slightly under the 314 moving average on the daily. Now, if we can get a bounce right there, if we can get this daily candle to close above the 314, especially tomorrow's to open within this range, if we're going to range a little bit between the 200 moving average and the 314 on the daily, I'll take it. Not bad. That would just show kind of like here, it happens. Sometimes you get that ranging between the 200 and the 314 moving average. Good to go. Let's see how that rolls. I find that to be somewhat positive. When I'll take it. I'll take it. I like it. I think that's a good sign. Let's see if we can get a 314 moving average bounce on the daily today. That would be rocking. If we can just get that range between the 200 and the 300 and the 314, build some momentum, get that retail trading volume going, boom, we're going to get back up. Especially when I look at this and I see retail volume is like 6.4 billion last 24 hours. It does show that retail buyers are buying this dip. So, but do note this, of course, here. This kind of does suck. Daily MACD below the heartbeat there. it's definitely turned negative, and of course the tangent is going the wrong direction. We do need to see some pumping, and we need to see this tangent at least for the MACD to tend to trend towards a positive cross. I think when we see that, especially when we're ranging between the 200 and the 314 like this, if we can start ranging, once we get that positive tangent there on the daily MACD, I think we might see some upwards movement. This was a quick dump based on news, ultimately, based on reacting to the larger market that took a potty because of Evergrande in China, where they make cities and then demolish them. If you've seen those videos, it's kind of weird. Anyway, that no one's ever lived in, because I guess what did they do? They build them wrong or something? I'm not really sure of the story. Truth is, I don't care. But basically, I think we're set to definitely get a nice pump right above this 314, above the 200 moving average, and get back on the way we were going. One thing I do want to note is if China's government does just give the Evergrande a $300 billion that they can't pay back, that they're in the hole, well, I think we'll see, along with the rest of the market, Bitcoin will be, just like it dumped with a lot of volatility, it will pump with a lot of volatility. So watch for that news. Definitely, if I was wondering, okay, speculation, all right, but if I got some early access to that news that Chinese government was going to bail out Evergrande, definitely I'd be stacking the friggin' sats, because Bitcoin's going to explode on that news. Do note many alts are not taking this shit laying down. EGLD, which has really been a player recently, making some great, beautiful moves. Of course, it dumped with Bitcoin, but look at that. Mid-red ribbons are back in the green. It's looking good. It's going to challenge that 200 moving average pretty soon. Its indicators show a slight cool off, but a little bit of sideways on EGLD versus USDT. We're going to see some upwards movement for sure if Bitcoin can at least stay sideways. Looking at ADA versus USDT here on Binance. Let's check it out. ADA, sure, it dumped with Bitcoin, but also it's moving up. Indicators do not look that bad. It's going to start challenging its 200 moving average pretty darn soon. Let's look at Solera versus USDT. I know some people who watch this do only trade in TC pairs. I love you. I appreciate it. But for the sake of the video and getting what we're trying to get across, we just look at a USD pairs most of the time. All right, look at that. So USDT, I mean, it was really getting its ass handed to it. You can see it back here on FUD news. Well, legit FUD news. I mean, their blockchain was down, but you can see retail traders were aggressively buying every damn dip, and most likely we had an uptrend here. We were looking strong, but of course, market dumped. Sol did too. But we've seen this beautiful volatility here. People are definitely buying the dips. This indicators look like we're going to go into a slight sideways cool-off period, but it's going to be challenging that 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart pretty darn soon, too. For fun, let's look at Dogecoin. Doge, USDT. How's that looking? What did I do wrong here? DOGE, USDT. All right. How's that looking? Look at my private chat over here. Private chat. Nope, just chat. Comments. The bunker is live. Yes, the bunker is live. Anybody who happens to be watching, if anyone is, if you fire up an alt pair or a crypto, I will look at it. I'm going to be watching the chart when I do these. And also I'm going to start, again, I had a little bit of trouble, so I could not do it, but I will be scheduling this for 6 a.m. Arizona time every morning, and they'll fire up and I'll be here. So I schedule it. That means I got to be here. I'll do the live stream while we're live. If you, send me a pair. If you got a pair, send a pair. And I'll look at it. I'll chart it. Doge definitely dumped like crazy with Bitcoin, but look at that. We're seeing a nice uptrend here. So really, a lot of alts are just, they dumped too, but look at that. Doge, not the strongest chart recently, but even with the dump, boom, look at that. And the indicators show, it definitely is probably going to go sideways to maybe even head up. So anyway, with that said, I can't think of any other alt to actually check out. Let's refresh the hour period right here. And let's just see if anything looks interesting. Oh, ETH. We hadn't looked at ETH. Let's look at ADA is looking good. XRP and ETH, and we'll get out of here. I know you guys got stuff to do. XRP, USDT. Sorry, USDT. All right, XRP, USDT. Let's check it out. All right, well, dump with Bitcoin, but as we can see, ultimately, looking at a big 45-minute chart here, you can see a slight uptrend that it is basically beginning to recover. These indicators do not show that it's gotten its ass completely handed to it. So even with SEC FUD after XRP, it's still making deals. It's still doing good. Even with this dump, we're seeing a nice uptrend. So even though I tend to give buying the dip a hard time, I think people should have a better strategy than just buying the dip. Man, some of these alts, buy the dip. Anyway, all right, let's say one more ETH USDT. And we'll look at ETH BTC real quickly. ETH BTC dumped hard with Bitcoin. You can see some aggressiveness here that people are looking for that bottom. They're trying to buy that bottom. Basically, it's sideways right now. Indicators show it's all right. It's probably going to stay sideways and start moving up, but it didn't. Of course, it did dump below the 200 moving average along with Bitcoin. Boom. It's kind of doing what Bitcoin's doing, but it's not, it hasn't just totally given up. If you're an ETH fan, buy that dip. Even if that's maybe not, even if I don't think it's a good idea always just to be a constant dip buyer, because what if the dip never ends? Have a plan. Oh yeah, have maybe buying the dip as part of your trading plan. But not, but chill out. Realize that is as nutty as speculative crap on news. You might as well be buying friggin' shit coins on Uniswap. Anyway, with that said, ETH BTC, I like this. ETH outgaining BTC slightly, dumping a bit this morning. These indicators are not bad at all. Probably going to go sideways a bit, but I'll definitely watch for some strong firming up indicators here. ETH BTC, I love that swing trade. It's possible, especially if we get close to this 200 moving average and start to push over that. I'm going to challenge it, bounce a bit, then make a move above it. Let's watch. On this recovery, ETH could definitely outpace Bitcoin percent-wise, and that ETH BTC trade would be sweet. Yes. As always, buy a Make Teslas Not Tweets t-shirt. They're cool. I wear mine all the time, and I get a lot of commentary. If you like talking to people and you like talking to people about crypto and the greater crypto political world, like Elon Musk and his Doge crap and him tweeting things, this will definitely. And if you like Teslas, and hey, especially if you're a single guy looking to pick up hot chicks that are smart, this t-shirt will get you some. All right. With that said, Bitcoin is a bet on the future of humanity. How do you put a price on that? You really can't when it comes down to it. I would have rather it not dumped this morning, but I don't give a shit really, because for every Bitcoin Satoshi that you own, the most evil friggin' garbage in this world cries. Amen. See you tomorrow.